Oh, I see. Different location. It's good
Different
to see
location.
some changes going on. Hello, my
Change is
love.
good.
Thank you guys for joining, and thank you, Lee, for taking the time for us sharing
No,
wisdom.
thank you. No, thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone for allowing this to happen, and thank you, thank you, thank you to you for participating in the lives of so many beautiful souls that are anxiously waiting for these sessions.
I'm so excited. Yeah, talking about anxiety and stress. Today I felt this when my two babies were crying. Why do you have to chat with Lee? Just explain. And usually they're at my mom's place, but it didn't work out today, so everything didn't go like it was planned to be. And then out of a sudden, it turns out to be like a little bit stressful. But you know, when I had the very first call with you, that was the moment where I just felt anxiety, severe anxiety, like with the very little household things at home. I would feel like, oh my gosh, the washing machine is beeping. Oh my gosh, I need to iron this. Oh my God, I need to go do that. And so much stress, so much everything just gave me lots of discomfort, and like really like, I can do it all. This is it. I don't know where to go. And I want to scream. So I just want to be loud and scream and maybe get attention or laugh from people around me. But this is the way you communicate when you are like, yeah.
Thank you. What is the key factor in those moments to you now when you look back? What was the key factor in those moments? What actually created anxiety?
I mean, I let it happen to me. I didn't take care of me having enough self-time to be calm, to react. And also the structure was not there to organize things better, to not be surprised by certain things. And there were so many factors around it that made me feel this way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, my love. So, you know, anxiety is really created. Anxiety, tension, and stress, all three falls in the same vertical, to my informed opinion. And this anxiety, stress, and tension normally happens when we put too much attention and focus on the future instead of the present. When we worry about the result, what's going to happen if I don't do this? What's going to happen if I don't do that? You know what I mean? So the focus is purely based on what has not happened before. The anxiety and stress is not about something that has happened in the past or the present moment. It's about the result in the present moment. So the focus really becomes, what am I going to do if I fail? What am I going to do if I run out of time? What am I going to do if I don't know what I'm doing? If Kaya hurts? This is because we are not focused on the present moment. And you know, one of the things we spoke about in depth was coping mechanisms, which essentially our coping mechanisms fail again when there's absence of self-love, when there's absence of inner peace. And I'm sure this is something that you can resonate with on a large scale.
I do, right? But could you describe coping mechanism in another way so people can understand? Because to me it was difficult to really get what exactly is coping mechanism.
Thank you, my love. Coping mechanism is the ability to take an informed decision that serves our higher self. Coping mechanism, for those who are making notes, is the ability to take an informed decision that serves our higher self. Example, when someone's coping mechanisms are busy failing on them, what happens is, in these moments, is when, for example, when you are going to a cinema to watch a movie and your partner or your friend says, what movie would you like to watch? And you look up and you go, I don't know, what are you guys watching? What would you like to watch? Or going to a restaurant with your husband, a wife, partner, children, whatever, and your coping mechanisms have failed. The first thing you will do is look at what everyone else is ordering and just, you know, use whatever meal they're going to use, or turn to a waiter and say, what is the specials of the day? What would you recommend? And whatever that waiter recommends, you go, that sounds amazing.
Whatever. And yeah, I'll take it. Another example is you agree to date with a friend, which you don't feel at all anymore, because you have phases. You pick people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, but you do have certain people you change, you evolved, and then those people are not serving you anymore, and the way around probably too. So you just really have to feel in you and to say, well, listen, I love you, though today is not a good day, or I just don't feel it. To be that honest is so hard, first of all. But if you agree and say yes to your friend and no to yourself, after that meeting, for me, example, I would almost hate myself to have wasted my time, to have my precious 2 hours with like not interesting topics at all. So this is what for me is also, or listen to someone else is recommending you a dish and you would not enjoy it, and I'm like, damn it, should I have taken this one? And you just like, ah!
And this happens why? Because we're living to please the outside world, right? In the absence of absolute clarity, in the absence of clarity, what do we have? We have confusion. So what actually happens is we lean into the comforts of everybody else. So when somebody invites you for lunch or dinner or any occasion, the first instinct that you feel, that's your authentic answer. So what do? Somebody who's coping mechanism failed, the first instinct they take and they dissect it, they analyze it. They'll go, okay, if being IF means instant failure, being a negative, if I say no, then I might not get an invite to the next, or what are they going to think about me? You know, are they going to sit and discuss me when I'm not there? And that just gives all sorts of anxiety to someone whose coping mechanism failed. In that environment, this is where tension, stress, and anxiety is born.
100%
You know,
agree. Yeah.
I was speaking. Thank you. I was speaking to my nephew this morning, to Carl. Still young, he's like 19 or 20, and I was saying to him, you know, we're speaking about. He's asked me my opinion on a personality, a person online who's now been cut all over because of his expressive opinions. What is my opinion on this particular individual? And I said, what do you mean? He said, because, you know, we can't express our opinion anymore. We must do what others say we must do. And I said, sure, you're still young and you're already conditioning yourself this way. And this is a sad reality of society, is that we agree with what everyone believes is good. You know what I mean? And that's where, and the moment you step out of alignment of what someone else believes is good for you, that's when anxiety starts.
I mean, would you, it's maybe a different topic, but almost that being on Instagram or in general social media is pleasing the society, because it's either you liked to be liked and to please others, so you have more likes, more followers, or you go a complete different way just to have your audience and you can share some things you want them also to know, but they're different, and then either people would like it or they would like dislike you openly and bullying you.
Well, thank you, Magav. You know, social media has different value to different individuals. Everyone finds their own values on social media. Though when you are taking your identity from social media, then there's an issue, there's a challenge. Should you, and you and I spoke about this past week, should you know, social media be a platform where you can make a difference to at least one person in the entire time on social media, and you've allowed one person to feel better about themselves, you've allowed one person to increase their self-love, to find greater reasons to love themselves better, create inner peace, and just to find, and they take that energy they love and they pass on to someone else, then social media has been good for you. You know, whatever anyone uses social media for, I respect them for this. However, individually, the amount of time you spend on social media certainly will create a discomfort. Why? Because eventually over time, you will start comparing your life to someone else. You start comparing how they look when they dress. You start comparing what they're wearing. And this will lead to anxiety. You know, someone else is wearing a dress that you have or a suit that you have, and they look amazing in it. And then you start thinking, oh, you know what? I'm overweight. I need to lose weight.
And I can never meet their, you know, this standard or this look or this weight. Yeah.
100%. I spoke to another patient this morning, and I was also saying that, you know, he's got a great anxiety being on his own. And I said, go to gratitude. Whenever you find yourself having anxiety, whenever you find this stress or tension that's creeping up on you, just stop that moment and focus on what you have. Because when you don't focus on what you have, what are you focusing on? You're focusing on things that you don't have. I don't have someone to help me.
I only now understood this feeling anxiety or stressed or complaining versus in the same moment, the same breath, doing gratitude prayers, just saying thankful for my life and my beautiful children. And sometimes you are annoyed by something your kids do, and then on the other hand you're always like, they're kids and it will pass, this phase will pass. And I'm so grateful for my healthy, beautiful children. And only now I realize this, the transition when I really do it, honestly and truthfully, that it really does something to you.
Thank you. Why? What does it do to you? It changes your vibration. It changes your focus.
It changes my focus, my direction, 100%.
And thank you, my love. And we've said this before, your energy flows where your attention goes. So when we are focusing on negatives, we're focusing on discomfort, that will grow. There's no doubt. And that is where the anxiety is created. That's where the tension starts. That's where the stress. So essentially, when we focus more on being grateful for the moments that we have, for example, like you're sharing now and saying, the moments with your kids, and you go and you look at them, and you could blow up your top, and you go, I need help, where's Andre? Or, instead you go immediately go, I'm so grateful to have two healthy, beautiful children. I'm grateful that they're healthy. They're able to walk. They've got 10 fingers. They can breathe. There are a million things that you can be grateful for your kids. There are right now, as we speak, right now, this very second, somewhere in the world, some parent is burying their child the same age as yours, the same age as every other mother or dad, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Some parent is giving birth to mother is giving birth to a baby that might not be able to walk, that might not be able to have eyesight. So sometimes we don't recognize the strength and the gratitude prayers from time to time. I was saying at a workshop recently, I was saying that I park my car when I'm out as far away from, if I'm going to a meeting or I'm going to a viewing, I'm going to the malls, I park it as far away from the entrance as possible so I can have more time to walk and I can go through my gratitude prayers before I enter. I'm going to a meeting, I'm going to see a patient, so that I can go, I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Our gratitudes are endless.
I agree, my love. It can go beyond just feeling stress, and then I would say the next level would be anxiety. What would you recommend besides gratitude prayers for those who are in severe anxiety level? What would be the tools or the steps that they could work, like lower it immediately, and of course for long term? What would you give them on their ways to work on them?
Thank you. Well, firstly, individuals would know when they are suffering from anxiety. They would know it. I often have people reaching out and saying, I've got anxiety, I've got stress, I've got tension. What can I do? And I say, it's not an overnight, there's no overnight success formula for it. There's a process to it. And most times anxiety is created when there's a lot of things happening at the same time. Like I said, and the focus is then on the result for tomorrow, not for today. So the first step to recalibrate the energy is to create a structure. Structure number one. And within that structure is to have good, strong affirmations. Because when you have a good, strong affirmation and you are saying this with sincerity and you follow it up with a gratitude prayer, you're going to feel better about yourself. And also learn to breathe slower when there's anxiety. This is very important. Because when there's anxiety, we go, I don't know what to do. I'm failing. Stop, pause, practice the pause.
Practice the pause, important.
Practice the
Not
pause.
react immediately.
Don't react. Whatever's happening around you, comforting or discomforting, is there to teach you and brings a very valuable lesson to you in that moment. When you're open to learn, you will get the lesson and you get to move on. When you're not open to learn, that lesson takes a little bit longer to absorb. So when we are fully present in that moment, we are able to understand that moment, no matter what it is, it's here for us to grow. It's here for us to expand, because when there's discomfort, what happens, and we are spiritually aligned and we are present and there's discomfort, it takes us to our gratitude prayers, which essentially means we increase in our vibration.
Wow. Yeah. It's all, in theory, it is very logical. It is helping, to sometimes just so difficult. I would always say it's so difficult, Lee. So difficult to translate it into reality. But of course, you gotta start at some point. You gotta start.
My love, I saw a picture on one of our very, very good friends of mine, Rosata, on her Instagram a couple of days ago, and she had a caption that says, "Changing the narratives." Changing the narratives. And I read that, and it just kept playing in my head over and over and over. Just her saying, and I've seen quite a good transformation in her life, in her journey, become extremely spiritual, and she become more aligned. And just her saying that, changing the narratives as a caption is one of the strong, I haven't told her yet, by the way, is one of the strongest affirmation, I know she's watching, it's one of the strongest affirmations she could possibly bring into her vibration. Is repeatedly saying, changing the narratives. Now, when you're consciously participating in changing the narratives, it also means that you're changing the quality of the words that you're using. You can't create a vibration, an affirmation, changing the narratives for better, and then we use negative words and negative statements, because quality words, we said this before, assures us of a quality conversation and guarantees us a quality result. So when we are participating, whether we are on our own or whether we're around people, we're participating with any persons or people over time, the more we speak their language and they might be on a negative vibration, the more we reduce ourselves. Because sometimes people do believe, and I've heard them say this before, oh, having to spend some time with my friends every now and then is good for me because they don't care what they say, they don't care what they do. I said, okay, fine. How does it help you? What does it do for you? Oh, you know what? It helps me in just dropping where I was just to that level, and I'm fine. I'm fine for a few hours, a day or two. I said, what happens thereafter? You have to fight to get back up again.
I so can relate to that, because it's like that simple example with meeting mom friends who would complain, oh my gosh, you know, the same thing. My son does the same. Okay, I feel lucky I'm not alone there, you know. And they're like, yeah, me too. And then you kind of feel close to each other because you will have the same issues, but then it will not help you in the long-term way, you know. It's like tomorrow you feel the same.
Well, it's the same thing with, I saw busy reading a book actually that Jordan Peterson, where he speaks about, he says, telling somebody that alcohol is bad for them is not going to be of any value to them when they're drinking, when they enjoy drinking. Telling someone, drugs is bad for them, they're not going to be bad for them because they're consuming.
Yeah.
And sharing information on telling somebody that their journey they're on and the way they speak and conduct themselves is not good for them, it's going to have no value until they decide that this is what I desire. I wish to have a different vibration. I wish to have a different life. Only when this happens would there be a change. Until then, it's going to be self-sabotage, because you cannot be committed to, mind my French here, to bullshit and spirituality at the same time.
Yeah.
It's impossible. It's virtually impossible, because you're going to have this, yo-yo up and down on a continued basis.
Same with nutrition. Like if I do eat chocolate and lots of unhealthy stuff every day, I would feel and I would have some cramps in my belly, and then I expect from my beautiful body to react on that, to work and to detox. But how if I don't nourish my body? So there must be a change. There must be like, now is the moment where I just change the narrative, change my story, change the things I would do every day because they're not serving me. So just make a nice white sheet of paper and then write a new story.
1,000,000,000%. Detoxing is so important, and understanding the reasons why we're doing it, right? Because you cannot, again, I don't believe that one can say, okay, you know what, as of the 1st of September or the 2nd September or the 19th of September, someone's birthday, I don't know whose birthday, but you can start on that day.
Shout out to his birthday, the 19th of September.
We will have a session so everybody can wish me. So it doesn't matter when you start, or anyone desires to start changing their lives and changing the narratives. However, when you change the narratives of your life and you decide that, you know what, I desire a higher vibration, I desire more consistency in what I do, I desire change, I'm looking for, or I'm searching for a consistency at being happy. And with that consistency, I'm looking for growth over time. When anybody's searching for that and they're reaching out for that and they're saying, okay, I'm not going to name my journey, I'm not going to call it spirituality, I'm just going to work on myself. This is all well and fine, my love. However, when we commit to this, our soul believes us, right? And now in between that journey, a couple of days later, the person starts eating badly. You can eat whatever you desire as long as you love what you eat and you have no regrets. Then your soul will absorb it as good. You can't continue to eat junk food and not understand that that has a very negative effect on your energy. So we have to be more present to understand that everything that we do, say, do, think, and feel creates, manifests our reality. And our reality is based on everybody has the same desire. Life doesn't matter where in the world you live or who you are, and that desire is ultimate joy. Joy is when you live in when you live in a state of being where no person's opinion matters to you. No, you don't take your identity from material values. You love yourself unconditionally and completely, with no desire, no need for validations or approvals. And when you certainly pay more attention on what serves and nourishes your beautiful soul, that is joy. And to achieve that, we have to understand, we have to surrender the BS in our system, into our structures, that we believe it's okay. It's acceptable to do this. It's okay to negative speak. It's okay to criticize. It's okay to judge. Cannot do that.
It's not okay.
It's not okay to say.
Andrew and I would always, and also a friend of ours who is with you today, and he would ask us, sometimes I miss back and look, I miss the times when I look back, and I had more happier times than I used to have today. And I can relate, and Andrew too, that like we said, if you only meet friends who tell you it's okay to suffer, it's okay to not be okay, then you feel for a second or 1 hour, you feel great, but then you will drop. So it's just maybe also lying to yourself in those happy moments of your life, when you're drunk, when you're at a party, when you complain with friends, when you talk about other people, when you gossip around and you feel like, it was so amazing. But deep in you, and this is the thing, sometimes I would say to Andre, are there different types of people who are deep and spiritual, and other people who just don't question things too much? And sometimes I say, I would like to be this way, not to question, because from day one, I remember, since I can think clearly, I was questioning life and everything what was going on. And this is also tiring. And you also feel like, I desire a life where I just live and I go to work and I have my 2 beautiful kids and my marriage. And then you work on that, but you never question things on a deeper level. And on the other hand, I know, and I was chatting to a friend and she says, everyone has that. And we had now not a conversation about that, but she said, everyone has it when you're somewhere alone or in a dark room at night, falling asleep. There will always be your soul or your subconscious knocking at your door and telling you, hey, is this right what you're doing right now?
Okay, thank you. 2 things you touched on, I want to speak about both. One is when people say to me, I so wish I was like 5 years ago when I used to have, I never cared about what happens in the world. I never cared about, Corona or anything. And I had parties, weekends, and I used to party Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, recovery, Monday work. It was a carefree moment. I was happy. I said, okay, were you really happy? Because the only job of ego is to create illusion of happiness. Were you really happy? Looking back. Yeah. You assumed an identity that you believed was you at the time. Not you, I'm speaking in general, who everybody believes they were. And over time, you mature and you start looking at the patterns and the behavior and the lifestyle, and you go, whoa, to do that for the rest of my life doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. Now, when that happens, right there, change has just happened. The individuals have just changed right mm-hmm. there. They've changed their journey without even recognizing. Because any person who continues to party Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and go to work Monday and do the same thing over, I'm only going to pray for somebody like that over 10 years, 15-year period, because nothing else is going to happen in their journey. Einstein said insanity, craziness, is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Now, when you're speaking about growth, progress, and expansion, can never happen in comfort zones. And this is my second point now, is that
make a note, guys. Make a note.
Very important information.
Yeah.
And the second part of this is that no growth and progress happens in comfort zones. And unfortunately, I've seen so many beautiful souls, they want to plant the seed today, and this evening they want to eat the apple. That's not going to happen. You know, a farmer plants a seed for apples, and he has to wait 6 months, maybe a year, even maybe 2 years before the apple pops up that he can use and sell. So we've got to have patience, and we've got to understand it's a process. However, because the individual has done, you can see my hand, the individual has done this for 30 years, 25 years, 30, whatever amount of time, that habit is so deeply ingrained, and it has its own narratives, which has supported the life of that individual. So now they start going back and go, I wish I was still there. That is not a possibility at all, because you have grown, progressed, and expanded.
100%. And what you would always say, the thing that made you happy, maybe illusional, but maybe true happy, is not the same things that would make you happy today, because you evolve, you change, you're a different person. And it's okay not always to compare yourself from the past in today. So yeah,
100%. Yeah, thank you. And I would say, I would add to this, my love, is that, you know, no person, impossible, at the age of 20 will be exactly the same person at the age of 30, doing the same things over and over. No, because as time passes, you do increase in awareness on what is good, on what is great, and what is not so good and what not so great. You know, the hype of being at a party and drinking and having fun, that has an expiry, because the next day you have to go to work and to get up and go to work.
Yeah, and the older you get, the more awkward you feel and everything. Or awful.
The longer the recovery, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Well, yeah. So look at this, my love. Is that somebody goes out on a Friday and a Saturday, or Friday or Saturday, and has a crazy time, right? Then Monday, they wondering why they feel depressed. It's because when you drink or you do whatever your source of commitment is for your party, you're literally spiking your endorphins, your energy shooting through the roof, and it's stimulated by the source. And what happens is it nosedives the moment you stop using. And what happens when it nosedives, it changes your internal mechanisms on what it believes was happy. And the first thing that comes is you start questioning life. Is life really worth living? Am I doing the right thing? And this is why I look at patterns of behavior with individuals that I counsel. I know when I categorize them. Mondays I'll get messages from them. Mondays and Tuesdays are my busiest days with counseling, and I'm okay with that.
Help!
I'm okay with that. So Mondays and Tuesdays I literally counsel from like 7 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. in the evening. And
busy times for you.
I see you.
Yeah. I would love to share a personal example in my life when it comes to stress and anxiety. Is when I was intensely with my kids, but then at the same time, when I still was part of Health Bar, the company I found with my partner, I had my meetings and I need to go to the office, and then I had a call, and there were plenty of emails that I needed to reply to, and it created so much anxiety. And on the other hand, when I was at that meetings, there was a certain time that my body gave me, and then it felt like, oh gosh, just stop talking. I must go right now. And I couldn't wait any more minute. I needed to run. So this feeling of not be able to be 100% there and have to please everyone, and just really wanted to split me into person, which is impossible. And then, you know, this is one example of stress and anxiety, and you can talk about it and telling me and also other people who have to work and has to go to work and to deal with it. But on the other hand, is also to change things, because I'm a great believer that everyone has the chance to change things, even if it doesn't appeal to you realistic, and you say, but I have to work and I have to have my money in order to buy my kids some food and everything. I agree, but there's always a chance to change your circumstances and to not settle to just feel this way. Beautiful. And that's why I said, ooh, that's a hard one to take on me, but I must change something radically right now.
Beautiful. I say to you, thank you so much, my love. You see, when we look at life, we spoke about this last week or the week before. I said, when you look at life through the eyes of love, you will see love, positive possibilities. When we look at life through the eyes of trauma, what will we see? We'll see discomfort, we'll see challenges, we see opportunities to be unhappy, opportunities to criticize and judge. These are our basic choices. You can decide that regardless of somebody having trauma, they can assume the position of someone who really desires change. As you said, is that unless you're open to change, change is not going to happen. You know, even changing your circumstances and changing environment, and even, you know, say somebody, a mom or, you know, family that said, okay, we have to work, we have to earn money, getting, you know, someone to assist. Even the most approved environment for assistance might still not serve them. Why? Because they're still going to look, where can they criticize and judge? You know what I mean? They're still going to go, it's not good enough. So until we until we start, not we, society, start looking at life through the eyes of love. And this is not difficult, because all we have to look at when there's a discomfort is, what is this here to teach me? Every negative environment, every discomfort has a message, has a choice, and it's up to us to find it. The moment we find it, what happens? We start elevating. Immediately we start recalibrating that energy.
And so, the moment you elevate, you just, once you have opened the door, you cannot close it and settle for less.
It's very difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult, because your subconscious is always going to, there's a narrative that you create at that moment that assists you in finding greater reasons to be a better person. This is why I said, when I saw Rosata's message that says changing the narratives, this was such a powerful message for me, because I took that into many of my workshops, and I said, until you make a conscious decision to start changing your narratives, you're going to align yourself with old narratives of discomfort, narratives of trauma, narratives of negativity, narratives of criticism, of judgment, because those narratives support your subconscious and brings it to real, and you live it out. So anxiety, stress, and tension there are mechanisms for it, and the mechanisms are very simple. Change your structure. Spend more time focusing on what you're grateful for to what you're not grateful for. Search for the positive possibilities as a solution for every discomfort. You want to add anything to that?
No, just when you said that your subconscious or your body will always tell you, with this feeling of discomfort or anger or stress, like, this is not right. What is not right here? This example, the same when you act allergically to a nutrition. You know, your skin will react. You have red spots somewhere. Yeah. This is why I always say your body is signalizing you, hey, it's something going on there, something you are feeding me, or maybe some mental things that are just not smoothly and right, and your body reacts. Either it's 100%. Tension, stress, or also like physical reaction.
Thank you, Mala. You know, we spoke about this a long time ago, and I said to Andre as well, and I said to many of my patients, I said, you know, the universe will always give you 2 warnings and a smack. 2 warnings and a smack.
Ooh.
Right?
So, I live by that today. It's just insane.
Beautiful.
It's true, guys.
But however, I mean, how many times when you reflect on your past, have you not paid attention to those warnings, where the universe is going, hey, listen, this doesn't seem right, why are you still doing it? Yep. And the universe goes again, oh my goodness, maybe just possibly look into the reasons why you're doing this. Yeah. And then boom.
Yeah.
The boom is the tension, anxiety, is the stress, is the, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Coping mechanism, boom. Because we're not paying attention. We have to, no matter what stage of your life, you beautiful souls out there, no matter what stage of your journey, or whether you're spiritual or not, whether you're aligning with values that serves your higher good or not, the universe is still going to talk to you. It's still going to speak to you. It's still going to give you those warnings, you know, and the warnings, and you start paying attention to it and listen to it. It's going to serve you. It's going to serve your higher good.
Sure. Yes. The universe will give you 2 warnings and then a smack. This is my greatest example, because I would talk with Anya, like, I believe that's the 2nd warning. We have to react now.
The next one is...
We cannot wait any longer.
Well, 2 warnings and a smack. Let's go out with that. I pray that none of you get the second warning or the smack.
Or the smack.
Or the
Yeah.
smack. Let's stay with the second warning. Because when you pay attention to what happens inside here, it's always going to lead you to joy. It's going to lead you to happiness. It's going to lead you to take better, informed decisions, even when your coping mechanisms are bellied up. Because now you're forcing yourself to focus on what you have opposed to what you don't have. And don't focus on the result. Focus on processes.
Focus on the journey, which
Focus
sounds
on the
cliche,
journey.
but it's true. It's so
true.
true. This thing with stay present, because that's the only thing that will give you discomfort and just annoyingness and criticism, is because you are living in the future and you are stressed about what will be in 1 hour. My personal example, the kids don't want to go to bed and I have an appointment, so please go to bed now. They must function. So just to trust. And I wanted to ask you one more question. When we would say just have trust in process, I think some people dislike us for that. They would like, that's so easy. It's easily said. Like, have trust in the process. Like,
why is it easy? Sorry to cut you. Why are they battling with that decision? Why are they battling to accept that? They're battling to accept it because they have no faith in a structure. So they can't trust the process. It's difficult. When you don't have a structure, how can you trust the process? The structure creates the process and allows you to have faith.
I have the next topic for us next Sunday is finances.
Structure.
No,
Okay.
Finances, because I believe a big trauma and everything we're struggling with in life has to do with money. It's like go to work, not being happy. Oh, I have a dream house. I want one day to buy this house, and then I need to work. So what can I work to earn a lot of money? And then based on that dream that you would like to realize, you are searching for a job, which is not, which is not your purpose in life. So you are living a life full of not meant to be, and pretending.
You're chasing a shadow.
Yes. And then you're just deeply unhappy instead of just listen to you, like what gives you joy and happiness and what is your passion, and then start from that and go into this. And also, I think a big topic is work. Has work to be something that came out of passion, or is work just for work? And then what is next to work? Then you can live your passion. Passion could be your family, your life, your hobbies. This is what we can chat the next Sunday.
Sure, I'm yes, of course. We'll be open to it. To put it down and just share it to everybody. One of the things I just want to share with you is in that moment you spoke about monies, and is that unfortunately, people would say, yeah, when you don't have money, then you don't have a choice. Of course, you have a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice to the quality of life you wish to live, to achieve your success. But when you're working to pay the bills, then there's something wrong in your process. There are decisions to be taken to increase yourself, to make sure that you progress at your life. It's virtually impossible for you to have a job for 10, 15 years, earn a salary, have this, and, you're able to do whatever your expenses are. And then you go, I can't afford a holiday. I can't afford, I can't afford anything else. That's a choice that you make. No person is born, created. Is okay. This one is going to fail. This one can, it's our choice how we present ourselves in our journey and what changes we wish to effect. We live in a very viral environment right now where there's so much information online. I'm not approving that everyone what they're saying online is real or true or has value. Find out what works for you and follow the course. Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can. I remember me as a child. I mean, I asked more questions than the entire South Africa together over a short period of time, because I've got a very inquisitive mind. Until this very day, I share with you elegantly to everyone, I spend 45 minutes in the morning doing research on certain topics and 45 minutes in the evening. It's important for me to update myself and to know. I don't want to say that I know all the answers. However, for me, I prefer to be informed, and my position then allows me to share this with people who don't know.
Yeah.
So not being successful at whatever is important to someone, that's their choice, my love. And yes, let's do this next week.
Oh, finances. Done. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. See you next Sunday.
Thank you,
Beautiful day,
everybody.
beautiful week. Thank you, my love, for everything.
Sundays. Thank you. to you and everybody else. Take good care. Have a
Bye.
phenomenal day. God
You
bless. Bye.
too.
Bye. Bye.